Gran Turismo challenge runs have become a gold rush on YouTube. During the last year, multiple runs have appeared trying to beat titles from these franchises on bizarre way, but personally, I find these runs always have a casual feel to it. There is little use of strategy, setup work, planning, and that doesn't sit right with me, as they aren't a true representation of what can be achieved if one wishes to push these games to their limits. This video called How Many Cars You Need to Beat Gran Turismo 4, published by Yellowbird, is a perfect example of what I mean. Nonsensical car choices for the challenge in question, and why does it have two songs repeating for 20-minute loops despite being a 40-minute video? Yes, that video is mine if you didn't realize. I made that run last year, and while I'm glad it helped to kickstart this channel, I always knew it could be improved upon. However, two brains think better than one, so I asked a friend of the channel for some help. Kanji has been one of the responsible of bringing the inner workings of Gran Turismo in a digestible manner, and I recommend you visit his channel if you wish to comprehend GT4 and other titles. So we collaborated and created a list of 11 cars which should be able to complete this game. But what does it mean to complete Gran Turismo 4? A playthrough is considered complete after the credits roll, and in order to do this in GT4 you need to complete the Gran Turismo World Championship. However, one cannot jump into this tournament from the get-go. All events in the beginner and professional categories must be completed first, but that will be way too easy for myself. So I decided to make this challenge harder by adding regional events. There are 3 categories of these events available: Japanese events, American events, and European events. These are often ignored in most playthroughs, and I find it baffling as they provide a variety of races which could help players prepare for the Gran Turismo World Championship. So I had to complete beginner events, professional events, Japanese events, European events, and American events to complete this challenge run with the least amount of cars possible. But wait, hold on. For this video to look as good as you do, smashing the like button is an absolute must. This run was played live during a series of live streams. Subscribing and clicking the notifications bell is vital if you wish to see this challenge run live, and most of you are missing out on them. Also, it will be pretty good to change the fact this channel has been shadow banned for a couple of months already. So, which car will start this titanic endeavor? It's the Suzuki Cappuccino, of course. Past the low effort memes, this car is one of the most versatile starters available in Gran Turismo 4. With the keys to my new Suzuki, I changed its 30-year-old oil and I'm ready to start racing at the Sunday Cup and their beginner events. These 5 races make for a perfect start to any playthrough thanks to its crew composed of NPC commuters. Even underpowered cars stand a chance at being competitive. Questionable? Yeah, kind of. Kind of questionable. I'll be damned if I lose to a Punto again, though. We're off to a good start to this playthrough. The next race does require a bit of setup work as it takes place at high-speed ring. As the name indicates, this circuit is biased towards power rather than handling, and 63 horsepower isn't enough, and 80 probably isn't either. Of all things, that's leading is a Megane Coupe. I know that each time I see one of these Megane Coupe I say the same, that they're not bad cars, they're alright. Especially the 2 liters one, there's a 1.6 one which is irrelevant, but the 2 liters is okay. This car should be fine. I mean, I don't think I need to throw more power into this thing. An imported Barchetta for sale on Marketplace recently. Interesting that people are importing Barchettas into the US, really. I mean, it's not a bad car, but it's not a car that I will go to the trouble of hunting if it wasn't local in my area. There's good things and bad things about this route. The good thing is that I don't really need anything hyper expensive, really. I guess the bad thing is some races aren't guaranteed at the end, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The following race at Glumman Stage 5 is a different story. While the track itself is nothing special, one of GT4's most annoying features makes an appearance: rolling starts. While these seem relatively benign at first glance, the distance between opponents paired with the long waiting time traveling at a limited speed allows the leading car to build a massive gap over you, starting on last place. This becomes a problem in short races where a false sense of difficulty is given, as there isn't enough time to recover this distance with a balanced or underpowered car, forcing us to resort to brute force. However, given GT4 is a serious simulator, my real financial situation is also represented during my playthrough, and I can't spend much on upgrades. As luck will have it, one of the most important upgrades is also the cheapest. GT Auto offers different wings which can be bolted onto most cars. Despite their questionable look, they provide us with the ability to adjust downforce on each axle, with a maximum of 30, which is enough to provide a substantial improvement on handling. Should be enough to beat these people driving with their groceries on their trunk. Get out of here, Honda. And the lead is a PD Cruiser. What the hell? What is this? What is this lineup? Why I'm racing against a PT Cruiser of all things? I think all the V6s were automatics. Unless I'm wrong. No. I'm not catching up to it. I am not catching up to that PT Cruiser. Beautiful. Notice how I gained a second in a couple of corners, but being so close to the finish line, it wasn't enough. See, this is exactly what I mean. This car can win if my opponent did have a 3-6 second lead with a muffler upgrade and a new grid. The Cappuccino claims first place, which takes me to the final race of the Sunday Cup. This will be another difficult race given this bizarre Motegi layout is composed of two straightaways glued together. Can't do much with a blender engine when it comes to top speed, but my opponents can handle a single chicane. Guess I'm racing against YouTubers. First try victory, which grants me the keys to an Auto Bianchi, which I instantly turn into currency. With this paycheck secured, it's time to continue with the event which should have started this playthrough, Lightweight K-Car Cup, under beginner events. This simple 3-race event can be decimated with a stock Cappuccino and has better payouts than Sunday Cup. Given my car is now overpowered for these races, the only event worth mentioning is the appearance of a Brazilian flag on wheels. This alone will be enough to flood my comment sections with memorable lines such as Brazil mentioned. But this channel you are watching right now has been banned by the Brazilian government for not having the correct opinions, so we don't get to enjoy their comments. For my relatively low effort, I receive a minion which I instantly turn into currency. I do want more money as some upgrades can be quite expensive, so a small detour into the Suzuki K-Car Cup follows. This is a 3-race manufacturer event which can be beaten with a Cappuccino. Even a stock one should be able to complete it. These races provide an even better payout than the previous series I have done until now. What in God's name is this thing? What is that? That front? Each race grants me with 5,000 credits per victory, along with a concept car which I won't use, but it is pretty useful on a normal playthrough. Who would have thought racing against washing machines could be so profitable? These funds allow me to modify the Cappuccino a bit more before moving to the next championship, the Japanese Compact Cup, a 5-race tournament which features slightly modified NPC commuters along with the occasional Japanese hot hatch, making it a good candidate to beat with an underpowered starter car. Well, I'll be damned, I'm gonna lose to that Yaris RS of all things. As a championship, I'll be fine. I'll probably qualify next race and see what happens. I mean, it's nice, but it's not that nice. Oh god, I was carrying too much speed there. I don't know how I got 3 seconds ahead, but I'm probably going to lose those. Hold on, you lost to a Yaris. I lost to a Yaris Turbo, Senko, for crying out loud. It's not the same. That's why I get for looking behind. If he places third, that could actually be really good for me in points. I cannot believe that I'm already trying to do points strategy when with that Yaris. My god, damn it, I can't speak. How the mighty have fallen. Oh yeah, I'm just going to do an optimized run of GT4 with the least amount of cars possible. Loses to a Yaris and is playing the points game on the second race of a tournament. While losing to a Turbo Yaris may not be my brightest moment, I am already leading the tournament as we step into Tsukuba for the following race, a circuit where I should have qualified given its long rolling start area and the fact I'm underpowered for the back straight, but I decided to start last anyway and try my luck. Don't tell me that of all the races that are going to be interesting, it's going to be this championship that's going to be the one. As long as I overtake that blue Yaris, it's all good. I can't believe that I'm saying this. Oh no, the stock... No. 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 You're not getting past. You're not getting my position. the regular Yaris is going to be just both in this race, by the way. First, I lost to a Yaris Turbo. Now both of us lost to Yusuf Amir and his golden Yaris, meaning all three of us are rather close on points. The next two races are really easy though, and this championship comes to an end with myself as the winner. My efforts grant me a new fridge with wheels which I instantly turn into pennies. After sweeping the best compacts Japan had to offer, it was time to do the same on a worldwide scale. It is time for world compacts under professional events, but not before putting some money into upgrades. Drivetrain upgrades are vital as always, but I also bought a Stage 2 turbo kit which I didn't use because it made me too overpowered. Back to Stage 1 we go, and conquer Seattle with 93 horsepower at my disposal. Tsukuba doesn't go so well though, as I understeer off the track while chasing the leading Mitsubishi Colt, who wins the race. First and only victory in its lifetime, but we are tied on points as we enter into Grand Valley East, a race which can be tricky for an underpowered car such as mine, thanks to its main straight. No! No! I don't know how I managed to keep myself on track after that, but sure, I'll take it. And the Colt is second thanks to all my antics. Jesus, that Colt is really pulling. What do you have, an Evo engine swap or something? Carrying this gun around? Ah, it just went off track. No, that's what I get for looking behind. Oh, damn it, I'm gonna lose the position. I'm going to lose the position on the final lap. That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Always the same in this circuit. I always lose this race. It doesn't matter what I do, I always lose this goddamn race. Let me just speed this up already. Great, I lost a position to the... Great, I'm going to lose a position to the Colt as well. I don't know why I decided to remove the frame limiter there, but I did. Being a sitting dog on a straightaway does kill your brain cells, and I forgot the fit was so close to me. I'm still leaning on points because the Colt finished on 3rd place. I can make better race strategies than your average F1 team, it seems. With the Honda Fit now being a contender for the championship, we head into Hong Kong. The Fit is being driven by someone on a drug binge that just actually managed to log in themselves into a race for some reason. And it all works out, like it's probably the most unassuming, boring Fit that you could see on the street. They just broke the window, managed to start it somehow, and here they are. I find it funny that out of all the cars, the Colt is nowhere to be seen. And it's just me and this thing now. I have two rivals this tournament. Let me tell you, how many people give you GT tournaments where you have more than one rival? And not just that, they give you interesting races defending against all of them. That's right, nobody, only in this channel. With the cracked up Fit becoming a distant memory, the race became a Sunday cruise. It is safe to say Hong Kong is a circuit which suits the smaller cappuccino really well. Despite the time loss suffered on the back straights, the advantage through corners is enough to compensate. Crossing the finish line on first, I decided to take a look at the championship standings and found a surprise. The Fit and the Colt are tied. The Fit is second, the Colt is third, and I'm first. With a tie between the Fit and the Colt as we enter the final race, it only felt appropriate to ask my audience who will come in second place with a poll. No, the winner is on the Fit. With me second, you bastard. Me second. Seriously, voice crack. The Colt's on third. No, you aren't getting past. Oh. That's what I get for not looking at the screen. Yeah, well, you just asked for a skill issue, and there you go. There you have it. I even deliver time. I even deliver failures to you all timed. What else could you ask out of me? Maybe to win races. Yeah, that will be a good start, actually. Still, he doesn't have the handling. He doesn't have the handling. And I do have the handling for the circuit. This circuit is kind of punishing for front-wheel drive cars, I think. My god, they do bring you all good racing, better than F1, that's for sure. 71 points. And yeah, it's the Fit. The cracked up Fit placed second. I do in fact win this race, and the Honda Fit takes second place in the tournament by 2 points. The Cappuccino wins the World Cup of Compacts and grants me the keys to a Honda S800 race car, which is a beautiful thing, which serves no purpose in this run, and I instantly turn into currency. The Cappuccino still has work to do, as I bring its tired engine to Japanese 90s challenge, where its 93 horsepower aren't up to the task. It is time to put the Stage 2 turbo kit I bought, along with softer tires and nitrous, to face these faster opponents. Did I say MRS is MR2? What did I say MRS? Because I read the badge which said GTS. I just mixed the both. No. Most people will suffer a heart attack after experiencing such a blatant attempt on their lives, but being a product of a third world country, it is part of my daily life. To the MR2's disgrace, I managed to score a victory at Apricot Hill on my next attempt. Grand Valley East come next, and it's easy enough, allowing me enough time to fulfill my duties as Con Exterminator. If you're wondering why we got an obsession with cons in this channel, look no further than our YouTube members, the Con family. You can join them for a special badge and access to emojis during my stream, and my gratitude, which is more than most anime girls who you're throwing money at will ever give you. While the following races were amusing, showing all of them in a single video will make it rather long, which is why you should join my streams and watch them live. You're missing out by not watching my streams, and there's an absolute ton of you who don't. This series of races ends in Fuji Speedway, where the Cappuccino is borderline incompetent thanks to its endless main straightaway, but I might have an opportunity through the few corners present on the circuit, which the AI cannot manage so well. Sure, double overtake. We take those. What is this? What is that? Oh, I made him brake. This car is so funny. How? How did you... Where did you come from? Oh my god, this thing is faster than I am on straightaway. Seriously? Hey, come on, give me a speed bump. Sure, I can slide from up here. That thing was pretty quick on the straightaway, god. Hey. Oh. Kind of. Get out of here. Oh, so hard to keep it stable when people push you. Come on, give me a push. You. Hey, you, hurry up. No, don't brake, just push me. No, I'm not gonna win if you stop the brakes, controller. After being kicked around Fuji by multiple opponents, I complete this series and earn the keys to a Nismo 400R, which I instantly turn into currency. The Cappuccino has served me well, completing multiple events with little investment and showcasing why it deserves its place as one of the best starter cars in GT4. I actually made a list of all of them, tested them, and ranked them on a tier list. The video is in the description or on my channel itself, but this little Suzuki has finished its last race. We thank it for its service. By now, I am able to afford a second car to continue my playthrough. Well, it's not exactly a car. My next acquisition is the Toyota Tacoma, a truck. Usually, these vehicles are considered to be more useless than the Bolivian Navy, but this mentality is short-sighted at least, because these can be used for multiple events. I took a Chevrolet SSR for endurance races last year, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. Given I need to get the most out of each member of my garage, I can't discard my truck after completing its proprietary track events, and this is why I have chosen the Tacoma in the first place. The only Japanese truck in the game and eligible for Japanese Championship, a 5-race affair where JDM icons compete for the title of Japan's best car, but because diversity is so strong, this blue truck identifies as a sport car and can join them. While I have invested some money on upgrades, this Tacoma currently has 380 horsepower for its first race at Fuji Speedway, which it decimates, so I down-tune it to 340 for the following race at Tsukuba. Surely this will give me a closer battle with the best sport cars of Japan. Oh damn, this thing is beating them on handling. Who said trucks couldn't be performance cars? Stronger JDM fanboys. No. If you want to anger them, you will say the Tacoma is 100% a JDM car. Well, truck. You get the point. That will trigger them. That will make them absolutely insane. The step 2 you actually go, beat their dream cars with this relatively ordinary truck. And third, you just see them cry on Reddit or whatever they gather to cry and do their things. And then every 10 words they will say that Japanese cars are overpriced in the used market because they don't understand how markets work. Such a handicap isn't enough to slow me down. I am able to sweep the entire tournament without a hiccup outside my usual distractions while reading messages on chat. What makes this truck so good? Its handling is outstanding for such a massive vehicle really. Even without the GT wing, it has good grip. While 340 horsepower doesn't sound like much, the Tacoma's gearing is pretty good after some adjustments, meaning its acceleration is better than many other cars. It is also relatively lightweight for a truck after weight reduction is applied. Now being crowned as Japan's finest sport car, the Tacoma grants me a good paycheck along with a Fair Lady set LM race car which I instantly turn into currency. While this blue freight train will come back for more, it has earned some time to rest for the time being. A GT playthrough wouldn't be complete without a Miata. The third member of my garage fills a couple of roles. I do need a car which can join the 80s Japanese festival, a bit of nostalgia baiting for a time where most of my viewers weren't even born. After a well-needed oil change and engine upgrades, this 140 horsepower Miata is ready to race. Given how incompetent the AI is at El Capitan, I scored a victory while talking with my chat about the Mazda Speed MB Miatas which weren't on GT4 for some reason. Born to live around cars, forced to discuss them in a 20-year-old game. I can't afford an MX-5 when they cost $20,000 in this country. I know what you're thinking. You're screaming, get this man a car! If so, write it on the YouTube comments to help me out. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I also beat an Celica Supra, yes, those were a thing, at Clubman Stage 5 with relative ease, followed by a pair of 80s Skylines at Tsukuba who weren't a match either. There is one race which stands out however. The fourth race of the 80s Japanese festival takes place in Apricot Hill Reverse. This circuit can be somewhat difficult for low power cars thanks to its back straight, which becomes a pretty steep uphill on this backwards layout to the point where my Miata almost stalled. While most of the field was easy to manage, I kept encountering these AW11 MR2s which were significantly faster than the rest of the field, so I wanted to beat them. While my handling was fine, I didn't have the speed and spent a good amount of time to figure it out. They weren't amusing attempts really, all it took was some extra mods and victory was mine. Sometimes I am too stubborn for my own good it seems, and the final race of this series didn't present an issue. All of this for a concept car which has no value in GT World it seems. It is back to the beginner league for a couple of races. The Spider and Roadster series come first and the Miata is able to conquer these races without issues. I could have done this with the Cappuccino, but I needed the Miata and I wasn't willing to spend so much money maxing out the Suzuki. Same applies for FR Challenge really. Simple races without any difficulty. While the MX-5 can complete multiple events on its own, it does feel like it's part of the support cast rather than the main character of this run. And the same could be said about the following trio of cars. The Honda 1300 Coupe is my car of choice for Japanese 70s classics, a 5-race series which doesn't present a challenge. I never used this car before really. The main reason this car was chosen is the fact I needed a front-wheel drive car which could do multiple events, and it's hard to find a car which can participate in this race and not be outclassed by other offerings. So after completing FF Challenge as well, the Honda went back to the garage and started gathering dust as it doesn't serve any other purpose in this run. We do thank it for joining us though. Next comes an Audi A3 which I needed for Schwarzwald League A under European events and all-wheel drive challenge. Both of these came and went without setbacks. I spent more time choosing a color for this car rather than actually driving it. I do believe this shade of green is excellent. Another proof for my outstanding taste in cars. I should be building collections for a living. I'm giving all of my car advices for free, such as buying a Clio B6 if possible. You can have one for the price of a new Golf R and they look excellent in yellow. But for now, GT4 will do, even if they don't offer them in yellow sadly. I need this car for the French Championship. I admit it's pretty overpowered for it, but I couldn't find any other car which fulfill multiple roles, such as being an MR layout which I also needed. It was also pretty overpowered for MR Challenge, to nobody's surprise. I also took it to the Euro Hot Hatch League, an event which could have been completed with the Audi A3. A bit of crossover between my choices is inevitable. You can guess what happened here, but you won't guess what I won. This is probably one of the most stupid price cars in the entire game. At least it's yellow! At least it's yellow! Finally I get one of these in a good color. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten this Polvo 240 in atrocious colors, but it won't see any service in this run anyway. Also, the A3 has fulfilled its role. We thank it for joining us. I had enough of Europeans and their Euless zones for now. It's time to find a different place in the world, a place with more freedom. It is time to complete all the American events, which means I need an American car. The good thing is, these 4 events can be completed with a single car, but it needs to be built before 1980 in order to enter the muscle car competition. And my car of choice is the Dodge Charger. It takes a while before I can choose a color given how many options there are available. In the end, I settled for a classic Mopar color, plum crazy. After sorting the usual muscle car issues with their short gear ratios and high body roll, I took it to a muscle car competition and beaten all of its contemporaries and got the keys to a Superboard in the process, which is in yellow and therefore it's below me and gets sold in the process. While those 3 races were easy, using a single car for American events presents a small problem. You see, there is a championship called the All-American Championship, which is meant for race cars which hover around 600 horsepower. Nobody on their right mind will bring a sport car, let alone the 1960s tugboat, to compete against them, but that is exactly what I have to do in order to complete this challenge with the least amount of cars. In order to even dream about being competitive, I have to modify this Charger by adding a supercharger, a plethora of engine upgrades, along with weight reduction and slick racing tires, and most important, a GT wing. The Charger is one of the few muscle cars where these are available, which is why it has been chosen for this challenge. With a 650 horsepower monster with barely enough grip, it is time to start the All-American Championship and hope for the best. My grid has a Panoz Esperante GTR1 in the lead, which is the second fastest car available as an opponent. If you're wondering which one takes the crown, it's the Chaparral 2J. If that turbofan powered fridge appeared on my grid, I will have rolled for a different one. The first race takes place in Seattle Circuit, which doesn't fall on the AI side, but I have never driven this car before outside a single qualifying lap. The joys of streaming my challenge runs, I have to show all of it, my bad moments and good moments. Ow. Ow. Fully understeer. Then again, if I want to sleep and somebody started picking my mind for answer, they will have to wait until I have my first cup of coffee and I wake up too, so... Thank you for crashing me. Whoever you are. No, it's the Panoz already. It's already the Panoz. Yeah, I need to shift a bit early with this thing because it kind of dies at the top of the rev range. He crashed into me again. He crashed into me again! It's so annoying that when you're braking, the AI just slams into you. Of course, of course. Of course. Side by side, and the one who goes into a wall is me. Could you give me some room, Viper? I'm not catching up to that thing, let me tell you that much. Off to an excellent start. I have learned a few things from my first race. First of all, the Charger's brakes are its weakest point, and I have to brake much earlier than I would like, because GT4's AI completely ignores your existence and will never adjust their braking zones, meaning if you are on their path they will make contact with you. Given I can't exactly pull away from them, I have to deal with these panos constantly threatening my efforts. While I understand we all have weird tastes, slapping a 50-year-old overweight man wearing a parny suit is a bit much, panos. Get some help before we start racing at Infineon. I'm more concerned about making a mistake on a corner and losing too much time, really. Oh, that gun went really close to the camera. Oh, look at that. It's always good to start my day with a panos jump scare. No, if I brake check the AI, I lose more than I gain. That is not... Oh, hello! Hello! No! Don't push me again! It's kind of comfortable, I mean, it's not bad, but it surely... I mean, it allowed for better modulation than X and Square for me when playing on the PS2. Oh, really?! Oh god. Get out of the way, GT. Get out of the way, GT. We don't make apologies in this channel. Apologizing is giving ground to people who actually want to sabotage you. We believe in always attacking in this channel. So an apology is out of the way. It's not even being considered right now. Yeah, he's gone. He's completely gone. There's nothing I can do. It would be nice if I could run mediums though. That will make me much faster. Okay, so let me do quick maths real quick. Okay. So there's 3 races left, that's 30 points. So 12 plus 30 is 42. So I can get 42 points at most. Okay, good. So if the Panos places second on each race, that's 18 points. Plus 20. 38. Okay, you still have a chance to win this if I place first on every single race. The Cobra doesn't get a wing, therefore it's kind of useless at this. It doesn't have the same performance. God, I hate that thing so much. I absolutely hate that thing. It's not what I'm looking for in this run. I could actually use the slipstream and use him as a brake. It's funny how doing that is more efficient than the brakes of this thing. What's happening here? I mean, I'm not gonna judge, but this is it is a pretty big backside, won't you think? Won't you agree? Big and purple backside. So I get why the Panos is kind of tempted to just tap the ass of the Charger, really. No matter what I do, it always overtakes me. Those are pretty good brakes. It always manages to slow down before going into the wall, you see. So I cannot take it out on this corner at least. And if I let it overtake me into this straightaway, I actually lose my chance to overtake it again. Oh. Well, okay, fine, that's kind of the start, but still. Still, it's like just... You know, they have so much room so much room in this straightaway to actually tap the steering and actually overtake me while braking rather than just diving into me and crashing into me. It's gonna crash into me again, by the way. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? He crashed into me again. See the slaps if you have the slap collar. You know, I could actually make a joke, but it could probably get dark really quickly. Almost the end of the race. I almost send you into the pit lane. Almost send you into the pit lane. I mean, we could say that the Charger has made the evolution that the Fast and Furious franchise has made. From racing to action and violence. It's not close enough. Whew, that took longer than I had any right to. I guess it's a trait with all these cars. It's not only the Panos, it's the Viper as well. Why are they so hostile? Thing is, if I actually place ahead of this thing, my championship fight will remain virtually unchanged. I'm still gaining more points than the Panos. Sure, it will be nice to actually have first place, but still, the Viper is a few points behind me. God, it doesn't turn. Because if it actually places ahead of the Panos, then I could have more leeway for Laguna Seca, which is the final race. Of course, I have to survive this first. You have a lot of space, you don't have to push me in. I crash because I have no room to overtake it. Oh, the Panos is coming. No. Oh, hey, look, a sandwich! What the hell is going on here? Oh, great. Perfect! Perfect! I don't know what happened. I admit I could have made this easier on myself if I just rolled for a different grid. I don't know, they are so aggressive in this tournament. So aggressive. I don't really understand it either. And I'm not the only one who noticed this. I have seen other people mention this before too. This isn't good. The car isn't turning. I have to let them go. I have to let them through. Otherwise, there's a big chance I will actually lose control. At least I'm holding. They didn't manage to break away from me. I did the an endurance with economy tires already. In here. Not sure how many can actually climb that feat. The Panos is there, I can actually hear it. Good thing that it didn't touch me. Where am I? Where am I? He has more grip. They have so much grip than me. More grip than me, and so I just always lose there. In the end, I never caught that Viper again, crossing the finish line on second place. This is a scenario that I haven't planned for, as I never assumed the Viper could beat the Panos. It does mean I still have one chance of beating this tournament, as I'm only 2 points away from it. If I place first on the next race, the championship is mine, and so we all step into Laguna Seca to settle the score. Unlike previous races, I decided to try medium racing slicks rather than hard. While the Charger's tire wear isn't stellar, I do need an edge over my opponents, and after qualifying, I figured it could be possible to survive 5 laps with them. To drive, lately yesterday, I was trying Assetto Corsa Competizione. I kind of want to start playing online races. Oh my god, that's so close to me. He went wide though. He's second, god damn it, he is. Still, if I place first, I win the tournament, but still, that's scary. Good news is mediums are holding just fine. Laguna Seca is in that bad on tire wear if I recall, so it makes sense. Car do you have? 68 Charger. Of course, in the last lap he actually goes ahead and shows the front. In the last lap. That guy, he just wants to torture me. He just wants to torture me. He just wants me to have a heart attack while racing or something. Oh my god, of course, on the corkscrew. On the corkscrew, you just put yourself at my side and block me from turning in. He's torturing me. This is torture. It's not the same, it's a 68. Championship is mine. Yes. Yes. Ah, it's a 70, never mind, yeah, 70. With only 2 races won, I managed to claim this championship. An absolute masterclass of race strategy and points management allowed me to humiliate race cars with a purple lanyard. And all of this to earn the keys to a Corvette C1, which I won't use. I only had 2 American events left to complete, a Stars and Stripes and Hot Rod competition, which they were a joke. Seriously, do you expect me to struggle after beating race cars with this thing? Maybe on a different YouTube channel. After completing my tour of the US, I took off to professional events and completed World Classics, a championship where the Charger is overpowered, so it's nothing worth mentioning. Honestly, after driving such a bulky car, I do fancy something smaller and lightweight. My next car is the Lotus Elise 111R. After spending a considerable amount of time choosing the right color, a British car is required for 2 European events. British lightweights requires for a car below 1000 kilograms to be driven, limiting my pool of options. These races are quite easy anyway, and the Lotus is ridiculously overpowered for them. However, British GT League is a different story, as more powerful Gran Turismo awaits, and I had to invest a bit on upgrades, but it shall be fine. Okay, let's give this a shot. 200 A-spec points. Good things, it's an Elise, it has god tier handling. Bad things, I kind of mess up the LSD setting, so it's a bit too slidey. Yeah, it sounds really bad. I agree. This is so stupid. I'm willing to just change 5 horsepower for a better engine noise. I am not. I need every single horsepower that I can get. Did you see how close to me they were on the straightaway? Rip jokes. I mean, it happens. No, let me, yeah, at least a couple. At least I got a couple. Look at them fly. The V8 Vantage is probably worst. It has, yeah, that thing doesn't drive too good. I surely didn't expect GT4 to consider these races hard enough to grant me 200 A-spec points, but it surely triggered my challenge run senses while playing, and I tried to complete the entire tournament by winning every race. Next up comes Fuji Speedway, which totally benefits my opponents, however. All the engine sounds for the Elise suck. Well, I'm glad that you've been able to confirm for us. Oh my god, why do you do this to me, controller? Damn. Why do you put one wheel on the grass? Oh. Okay. What is the oh my god. No, I'm not gonna lose another position. I'm gonna place 3rd. I mean, it makes sense for Fuji. I arrived just as the cars made spin. While I was expecting to lose that race, I didn't expect it to be so catastrophic. Next up comes El Capitan, which I decimate with my Elise, and the same goes for Infineon. 2 circuits where handling is vital. Not even Midfield Raceway presents a challenge. I was able to win 4 out of 5 races, claiming the championship and taking the keys to a beautiful Jaguar A-Type, which I won't use. At least I managed to complete British events before they decided to throw me in jail for a meme I posted 10 years ago. The Elise earns a well-deserved rest in my garage while I bring out my Toyota Tacoma for Tuning Car Grand Prix, a 5-race championship where your opponents are cars built by different tuners, with one of them being one of the best cars available in all of GT4, the Opera Performance S2000. I have made a video about this car before, explaining its prowess and challenging some of the toughest opponents available. I will leave it in the description, and it's also available at the playlist on the end of this video. I specifically wanted a grid with this car to put it against the Tacoma. However, I also encountered a roof PTR. These are also a formidable opponent. With a set of medium racing slicks and a supercharger, it is time to humiliate more JDM icons. Maybe the mediums are overkill. Maybe the mediums are overkill, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm kind of cracked on handling, to be fair. Oh, god. Kind of cracked on handling. So my jumping from a wheel to a controller is kinda something. Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind, I'm not the only one who has issues. I'm taking this. I'm not complaining. I am not complaining whatsoever. First place, everything was planned from the get-go. The second race takes place at Fuji, where I managed to be quite competitive with the Opera S2000. I do have a slight edge over it, which allows me to secure the lead, but I still have one small shortcoming against my opponents. Never mind, this is pretty tight. This is a pretty tight three-way fight. Xtreme needs more likes. True, Antonio, you're right. It needs more likes. It always needs more likes and more shares and more of everything. So if you want to help me out, do as the man says and leave a like on the stream. Uh-oh. Great. Controller? Controller, what are you doing? No? Okay. Okay. My controller isn't responding. Give me a second. That was my controller. I've been dealing with its random brake inputs for months now. It also has these moments where my inputs are suddenly delayed and I have to disconnect it and plug it again into the PC. If it wasn't for that, I would have won this race. Third place as we head into Tokyo R246. It is a bit nerve-wracking when the Opera S2000 comes so close to me, but at least it doesn't seem attracted to the Tacoma's blue backside to tap it constantly. El Capitan comes next and it is a relatively easy race where I take first place. The final race takes place at Tsukuba, and they have a 10 points lead over the Opera S2000, so we can say this championship is relatively safe, but I still want to win this race. God, I'm on maneuvering even the Opera S2000 at Tsukuba. This is a humiliation of the S2000. I should have told you that you were all assisting to the funeral of the Opera S2000 today, rather than just, hey, you're angry that I'm pulling you down? It's not my fault. It's not my fault that you're being outclassed by a truck, S2000. Get over it. So much for being one of the best cars in the game, you're getting beaten by a truck. Okay, that was kind of cool. You have to give me that, that was kind of cool. 4 out of 5 races thanks to a mechanical breakdown is acceptable, especially when beating one of the best cars in GT4 while doing so. The Toyota has surely earned some rest while I bring out the NA Miata for a second spin. I need to complete Clubman Cup, a relatively simple event with 5 races. However, the first race at Apricot Hill can present some issues with certain grids. There are 2 opponents which decimate most cars available at this stage, the Lotus Elise and Opel Speedster Turbo. If your car is underpowered and one of these appears, just leave, you'll thank me later, unless you invest a fair bit on power and handling upgrades like I did. That will be a cool find actually, that will be something really nice to own. Of course I'm not in the position where I can actually buy it for the time being, but still. What was that? Why do I almost go into the moon? The next interesting race took place at Seoul Circuit. 2 straightaways glued together aren't the best for an underpowered Miata, but I do work with the tools I'm given to overtake him here. We're side by side probably. Okay. Okay, he's gonna outpace me in the straightaway, that's for sure. So I just need to block him as much as I can. Make sure he doesn't get away from me. Some people would like to be bankrupted by marriage or something. I would like to be bankrupted by an RX-7. That's all I need in life. I will settle with that. I don't ask for much more. Yeah, people who place things on the steering wheel and just on top of the airbag is just so scary to me. You know, in a way it feels like it's intentional. It's just Darwinism doing its work. But why? Why will you do that? And it's just so common because it's not weird. I mean, there's a lot of people who do that, and it's just you know what? No, you know what will complete the package? If it's one of those defective Takata airbags which just goes off for no reason, that will complete the look. Just do that in a car which has the airbag recall and hasn't been taken care of. There you go, the ultimate driving claymore. If the CIA or someone else is listening to this, no, that's not an intention of using it as a weapon, it's just a joke. I already know YouTube has kind of shadow banned me, so probably someone else is listening to this and taking notes, or whatever. I might as well embrace it, what's coming to me. Oh no, yeah, pretty much. This makes for the final appearance of the Mazda MX-5. We thank it for its service. This comedy break then takes us to the next filler episode, where a few returning characters go on a side quest which is somewhat related to the main plot, starting with the return of the Clio V6 for Race of NA Sports, a simple series and the last appearance of the Clio in this playthrough. Thanks for your service despite your relative irrelevance. Next up, we have the return of the Lotus Elise, this time with a turbocharger for the Race of Turbo Sports. A turbocharged Elise might not classify as a car though, even more so with a giant rear wing. Oh god, it's gonna go sideways. It's gonna go sideways. Oh, wow, okay, fine. No gravity moment. Don't understeer, man, come on. He's understeering too. Come on, the all-wheel drive is getting to him. He has no tires. Go! Go! Oh, Audi. Why do you insist on making performance cars with their engines hanging off the front axle? 40 years and you're still the king of understeer. It's a good thing I managed to land the Elise because planes don't go well in my next location, New York, where I spent a couple of laps racing against a Dodge SRT4, better known as Neon SRT4. Last thing I expected to see on the lead though. Outside that, the Elise conquers yet another event and makes its final appearance for this playthrough. Thank you for your service. After beating Turbo Sports, there are only 2 professional events left to complete, and none of my current cars have a Boxer engine for Boxer Spirit. I also have a pile of European events left to complete, which brings the next member of my crew, the Roof RGT. Of course, it has to be yellow. I hope my choice of paint is appreciated by my opponents at Schwarzwald League B. Fitting for the circuit we're on. There's an E50. Oh! Thank you SL65, thank you, oh god. I have to wonder who takes a SL65 to a racetrack. I have to wonder who takes a Mercedes SL to a racetrack altogether. Not the brightest crowd. My next attempt goes without incidents, and so does the rest of races, which curiously all take place in Japan despite being an European tournament. Questions which I will never have an answer for, it seems. Completing League B grants me the keys to a DTM legend, the Mercedes-Benz 190E, which I won't use, but I do love collecting more cool cars. Next up comes the Pan-European Championship, which the Roof manages to conquer. Races weren't the most exciting really, but I do like this tournament as it has a variety of circuits which go from urban layouts to the Nürburgring itself, along with competitive opponents. I do have to admit the RGT is one of the best cars available for this tournament. Its handling, speed and relatively low tire wear are formidable traits. There is a slight catch to the RGT. For one, it doesn't have access to a GT wing, which becomes a handicap at high speeds. It's just a matter of... Oh, great. Perfect. Perfect. That's excellent. So I just go slightly wide and I eat the only wall in that entire section. Outside this setback, I find these cars have an undeserved reputation for being hard to drive, mostly created by people who lack any sort of knowledge about basic driving technique. When driving a rear-engine car, you should always brake earlier as their weight distribution is biased towards the rear axle. That makes them very unstable under braking. The trade-off is they have outstanding grip under acceleration, meaning you can push the throttle much earlier and power your way out of turns. If only someone made a guide on how to master these cars. What am I talking about? It's easier to complain and blame the car. Imagine playing racing games for a living and not even comprehending the most basic aspects of driving technique. Where was I? Oh, yeah, Boxer Spirit was easy and I have a face reveal for a split second. There is only one event left before completing professional events and unlocking the Gran Turismo World Championship. This is Supercar Festival, a set of races where this yellow roof will be right at home, but that will be too easy. In fact, the RGT won't see service anymore during this playthrough, because I already have a supercar way before it joined this family. It is time to bring the Toyota Tacoma for its last dance. 5 races against supercars and concept cars which mere mortals like ourselves cannot use for these races. Our first stop comes in Seoul Circuit. Finding another grid because I'm gaining time. I gain almost a second that lap. Imagine that you just got one of the few Saleen S7s made and you're being chased by some idiot on a Toyota Tacoma of all things. The only thing you see in your rearview mirror is a blue brick, which is getting closer and closer to you, uncomfortably so, and you're just wondering what are the drugs kicking in, or is this real? And believe me, it's real. It is absolutely real, Saleen 7. You're not getting away from this. I'm slipstreaming a Saleen 7, by the way, on a Toyota Tacoma. I actually managed to overtake a Saleen 7 in a Toyota Tacoma. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the stream, I will seriously appreciate that you did, so we can get this shown to more people. And more people can see a Toyota Tacoma completely demolishing supercars. So much for being a concept car, Cadillac CN, you couldn't beat a truck. You just don't have the torque at corner exit. See, I kind of out-accelerate them at corner exit, but once they start to build up speed, they out-accelerate me, which makes sense. Once their engines start revving, they are more powerful than I am, really. Yeah, there's 2 cars which I can't use, but the AI can use for some reason. This is where the fun begins, because I have top speed, but they clearly have more top speed and acceleration than I do. So this could get tricky. Depends on how close they get to me. It is ridiculously unnecessary though. I mean, why would I do this having a rough RGT sitting on the garage? And the answer is, because I can. Because I absolutely can. They can catch up even on straights. Don't wheel spin. No. It doesn't have any handling. Yeah, it doesn't have any handling, but the speed that it has is good enough to recover if I'm not good enough through here. And the tires are starting to give up. Yeah, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. Fuji is one of the most intense races, and it just completely demolished it. 11 seconds over the W12, Jesus Christ. I have no idea actually about the lightning. I mean, I never used it. Oh god, traffic jam. It doesn't matter which cars you put into a city, you'll always have the same result. So we have 2 Volkswagen Group prototypes paired with a failed supercar from the late 80s, early 90s, a failed Korean sport car. And I don't know who's on 6th place, I forgot. And then there's me on the truck. I mean, if this was a Netflix show, the cast will be complete. Because I don't have transportation, I use my legs. And the only fuel that you have to give your legs is kind of what you eat, so that's not a problem for me. I eat pretty well. Too well, to be honest. Even drifts for the audience. I mean, this truck does everything. Truck does absolutely everything. It can carry your stuff, it's quick enough to beat supercars, it can go sideways. I mean, what else you could ask out of it? It even has air conditioning, probably. Okay, that's good enough. Another thing is that it's so tall that it can actually eat curbs and those things. I mean, in some cars those can be pretty annoying, especially in supercars, which are really low and stiff. Not with this thing. Absolutely not a problem with this thing. One sub 120 lap. Interesting that she said this third. I was willing to bet money that the Nissan will get third, but it's kind of close. It was a second away. Even it has enough cons for a coffee break. Yeah, but some of them are just kind of out of reach, really. Those on front are out of reach. Kind of hard to get there. Those are really out of reach, kind of hard to get there. The most reasonable ones to knock out are those. And this one seem close, right? But you have to go so far out to actually touch them that it doesn't make any sense. You lose too much time. And you might be wondering why do you know all of this? Because imagine that you just have to win a race, right, and knock cones at the same time. Oh my god! See, these ones are also really risky. Oh Jesus Christ! Look who's here! Oh, great, we're up for a couple of interesting final laps. Don't tell me that I don't know how to make an interesting race. Oh great. Oh, great. You just go wide, you crash into me, and then you overtake me. The complete package. Yeah, the tires take a beating here. Get out of there. You know what? You kind of overtook me by going into the sun, so... Yeah. Questionable, absolutely. Absolutely questionable. That sound is now a write-off now. But hey, it's done. I find Supercar Festival is a really amusing event as it can be quite misleading for a novice player. Paired with supercars on speed bias tracks can give the impression of challenging races which require brute power in order to be conquered, but this isn't correct. These races can be tackled with multiple cars which meet this arbitrary restriction of 483 horsepower from saloons and GT Tourers, Japanese tuners, and as I have proven, a common pickup truck. All that's needed is adjusting each car properly in order to get the most out of it. Most of what you have seen in this playthrough has been made consistent thanks to setup work, and it is only thanks to individual adjustments that we're able to put these cars against the impossible odds. The Toyota Tacoma retires on a high mark as it has completed its service to this challenge, a farewell to this hero. With professional events completed, there is only a small hurdle before the final leg of this adventure can truly begin. This is a tournament which most people have nightmares with. I am of course referring to 1000 miles, a championship which belongs to the European Series and is composed of endurance races. Plain simple, each race can take around 2 to 3 hours to complete, and to make it worse, it is restricted to cars from the 1960s. What most people do is play these races on B-Spec mode and just call it a day, but I have done this tournament live on A-Spec once with a Nissan Bluebird during my first 100% playthrough of Gran Turismo 4, and then I spent almost 4 hours in the Nürburgring with an Isuzu 110 Coupe during my randomizer Nuzlocke before before we all decided it will take too long, which is more than most YouTube channels can say. So, did I engage into another 12 hours road trip just for the sake of increasing my suffering even further? No, I just used mind control and twisted the game's will to grant me the victory. You don't get to play thousands of hours of GT4 and not know this game's weak spots, granting me for once a prize card that I will use to continue my playthrough, the Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint Speciale. This piece of 14 wheels is my vehicle of choice for a couple of European events which I had as leftovers. First we have Festa Italiano, a race for Italian cars really, little did I know what I was getting into. On the stream so we can get this channel to more people. I'm sure all of you want to help me out to continue breaking this game in some shape or form. I'm not even going to bother. Not today. Infinite again? Yeah, that's very Italian of them. Absolutely. Oh! Okay. Sure. Go you leave that GTB alone. My god, that is a beautiful color on the GTB. If I had a lap more, if I had an extra lap more, you see, this will be simple. Oh god, get out of here. 3 wide. Oh, no, don't push me. No. No. Ah, of course. The 147 just pushed me off. Seriously. Seriously. Come on, that's cheap. That's so cheap. Ah. That wasn't my fault, by the way. He just went wide on his own volition. It's not like I have ounces of grip either. My grip is relatively limited too. Yeah, they're not understeering. Go figure. Ah, but it's fine. Just need to put the power down. Ah, I went wide looking at that delta. Hey, another 200 points race. But A-spec points mean everything in they're just a measure of difficulty, you see. The following race takes place at Monaco, where my underpowered Alpha just isn't competent, so I had to give up and score less A-spec points. Honestly, given the improvised nature of this self-imposed challenge, I didn't feel like tryharding Monaco, so I just accepted the smaller points. But the final race at Infineon will be possible, or so I thought. I like my odds. Hey! Yes, this grid. Oh boy, this grid looks like understeer. Ah, no way. No way, of course the game just punishes me. The game punishes my creativity, so I just have to modify the car more now. 144. God damn it, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? There we go. And they're not pulling away from me either, which is impressive. Also, that shade of green on the GTV is beautiful. It's a shame, it's just becoming another patch of grass now. Ah, the 166 lost the lead. 147, please behave. Thank you. Ah, hey, look at that, he stole my job. That 166 stole my job, and he did it so well, which is kind of embarrassing, really. You should clip that. You should clip as many things as you like and share them on Discord. There's a link dedicated to YouTube clips. If you haven't joined my Discord server, the link is in the description. Don't tell me that guy isn't going to understeer, because that's gonna be tragic. Yes, he went wide. Yes, yes, he's losing time. Yes. Come on! God, it has no acceleration whatsoever. It has no acceleration whatsoever. Again, please? Yes, he's doing it again! He's doing it again! Just don't crash into me! Don't crash into me, Alpha GT. You really want to crash into one of these things? They probably cost more than your entire livelihood. Another 200 A-Spec points taken home, along with the keys to another DTM legend, which I won't use, but I will still keep in my collection. Seriously, I find A-Spec points are one of the most idiotic measures ever created. Those races weren't exactly hard, and there are multiple scenarios throughout this playthrough where high points yield on equal to an actual challenge, but the races with lesser points prove to be more challenging. What's the real purpose anyway? Do they give you disability checks after hitting a certain threshold? Is this how I will get my hands on my W124? All I have to do is put this blue sticker on the windshield? I'm willing to wear this mark if it means getting a car, absolutely. I also needed a car which could beat European Classic Car League, yet another 5-race tournament for 1960s cars, which is pretty simple and gets me yet another overused meme. And that's all this alpha has to do for my playthrough. We thank it for its service as we move into the final car of this playthrough. There are only 3 tournaments remaining on my playthrough. These are DTM Championship, then JGTC Championship, and then Gran Turismo World Championship. While the latter 2 don't have any restrictions when it comes to cars, the DTM Championship is restricted to vehicles from this class. If I want to complete all of these tournaments with a single car, then my pool of options is really limited, and there is no other choice than the Audi AVT TTR, which is probably the best DTM car available in this game. This car makes its respective championship trivial, sweeping it along with the JGTC tournament. I do find it amusing how we can bring anything into it, because these cars are better than their DTM counterparts in GT4 and will make this plan of mine slightly easier. However, this is the only way, and after completing that almost endless JGTC championship, it was time to start the final round. Gran Turismo World Championship, or GTWC. This is a 10-race tournament where Group C and Le Mans bred prototypes reign supreme. My Audi TT here is on a class below, not only in speed and outright power, they are also lighter and produce more downforce, so they will have an advantage on every single situation. Thanks to this, there are races which I'm aware will be impossible to win right from the get-go. The first 2 races taking place at Tokyo R246 and Super Speedway fall in this category. The final race at Le Sortie 1 does as well. These 3 races will be hard regardless of whichever grid you encounter, so it's safer to assume they will always be losses in order to have a safety net in points. Suzuka is another circuit where the TT will be at a massive disadvantage. However, I am hesitant to classify this one as impossible, as there might be grids where chances are better, but I'll just say it's really unlikely and might be safer to consider it as another lost race. The same logic applies to Grand Valley Reverse, so my odds from the get-go do look rather grim with only 6 possible victories. Tournaments in Gran Turismo 4 award points in the following manner: 10 points for first place, 6 points for second place, 4 points for third place, 3 points for fourth place, 2 points for fifth place, and 1 point for sixth place. Honestly, it all depends on which grid I decide to choose. I spent a few minutes searching for the appropriate opponents for my Audi TT. Given that I can beat them on any aspect, having opponents with good pace and low tire wear is a problem, as pit stops are a vital part of my strategy, and any grid with these cars was an instant no-go. I am aware there's no perfect grid in this situation, but I did manage to find an appropriate compromise in the end, the main threats being a Nissan R89C, a really quick competitor with atrocious tire wear, and the Mazda 787B. This one is a bit more concerning as it has much better tire wear than the Nissan without sacrificing in pace. The lower tier opponents aren't much of a concern really. While I was aware it could be a gamble, I decided to start racing anyway. Can I beat him on corner exit with nitrous though? That would be... Holy. He's gonna bump into me though. Sure, that works. That absolutely works. I'm not going to complain. This is probably the worst part. Having to block that thing. Impressive. He didn't crash into me. Another issue that I didn't mention, look at the kilometers on this car. This thing is going to experience rigidity wear soon. It's an inevitability in this tournament. The car will always keep up, but it's usually at the end. But because I didn't buy a new one, and this thing already has 300 kilometers out of the 500, you need to actually start suffering rigidity wear. Oh my god. Sadly, that little incident was enough to crush all of my dreams. I couldn't do better than 3rd place, earning 4 points while the Mazda earned 10 and the Nissan 6. What comes next is Super Speedway, 21 laps in an oval where I got no chances of winning and all I can do is minimizing damages. My saving grace is a ridiculous strategy without pit stops. Completing the entire race with a set of hard tires is my only option if I wish to score points. Oh, finally, releasing through the Mazda. Of course, I just go and tap the only single wall. The car is fine, let's just avoid talking about the car. The car is fine. Oh my god, they're gonna lap me. I'm slipstreaming, that's the F1. What did I do to the F1? I have no idea. It got stuck against the wall. Oh god. I think I broke the F1. Okay. Okay. I'm going to make overtakes. I actually went into 3rd place. And the Mazda is going to take another lap away from me. If I don't do anything. Then again, I don't think I can do much. It's coming so quickly, Jesus Christ. If you didn't, if you click the subscribe button, a massive cheese will start appearing on the screen as well. See, that's what happened when you click the subscribe button. The more people that join, the more laps that 787B will get from me. That's totally how it works, isn't it? Now my challenge lies on holding this 3rd place with these tires for as much as I can. I don't think I can. I just don't turn anymore. But neither does the CLK. Neither does the CLK, so... Good. Please don't. It's just 2 laps more. Come on. He tapped me. He just tapped me, by the way. Oh, damn it. Just going too wide. Have no more nitrous. But I should be able to use it for turning. For 1 lap more. Eh? Wait, hold up. Hold up. Why did it say lap 20 out of 21 if that was the final lap? Am I confused here that there's something wrong? Is it because I was 1 lap behind of the grid? With another 3rd place finish, I scored 4 extra points, while the Mazda got 10 and the Nissan 6. For championship standings placed the 787B on the lead with 20 points, followed by the R89C with 12 and myself with 8. Being 12 points behind from the leader is less than favorable for my efforts. I do have a crazy plan to change my situation. The 3rd race of the GTWC takes place at Hong Kong, a narrow urban circuit where powerful cars struggle, making it one of the few guaranteed victories on this championship. But I started thinking, what if I use this narrow track layout to my advantage and sabotage the Masters race? So much for AI taking your job away. It cannot even do the same thing consistently. Yeah, that should be enough. That should be enough to modify the grid standings. If 30 but necessary. And now the Nissan is crashing into me. I just help you. Why do you crash into me? Explain yourself. Explain yourself, Nissan. Oh my god, he's absolutely brain dead. He is absolutely brain dead. He goes wide, crashes into me, goes into the wall, and lets the Mazda get through. Come on, I'm helping you again, Nissan. Don't blow this up. So it's like I'm doing 2 races at once. My race and the race of those 2. You're gonna slow down? Maybe? Oh god, get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, you have to be joking. You have to be absolutely joking. Okay. Yeah, no. There we go. There we go. No. That never happened. That was just an acid trip. That never happened. Oh, no. Now the CLK is actually in the mix. Oh my god, the CLK is actually second. That could actually work in my favor. Sadly, this attempt wasn't meant to be. It took some effort to figure out the appropriate pit strategy while also ensuring the 787B didn't secure first place in my absence. It meant my first 2 laps after leaving the pit lane had to be perfect if I wanted to catch the Mazda before it took off and destroyed my plans. I forgot that this was the 9th lap and the tires just were going to give up. And to see how bad this is going to be. Which is slower, just not taking the curve slower, but, well, not slower for me because I cannot use it, but you get what I mean. Of course, and the place where I need to make the quick overtake to actually make sure I can get past the Mazda, this thing blocks me and makes me lose time. Oh, the Mazda is moving. Mazda is moving, but I'm in a better position than I was for the Nissan. Oh yeah, he just wanted you to place second, right. There we go! There we go! Sabotage the race of the Mazda, and finally the Nissan is leading. Good! Okay, here goes nothing. Time to blow up the engine. I don't remember where I have to brake with those speeds. So I actually lost time. Brilliant. Hong Kong is race number 3. So did 70 laps of Hong Kong, so it's more. Oh my god. That's unfair. Hey, but it was all worth it in the end because I actually got what I wanted. I actually got everything I wanted. Putting this absurd run together took over an hour, with lots of up and downs, and as always, the entire stream will be on a playlist at the end of this video for those who wish to watch my madness without editing. My plan paid off, scoring 10 points made of gold, while the Mazda only scored 4. It is still leading the championship with 24 points, while myself and the Nissan are tied with 18 points. I managed to shrink the gap with the Mazda by 6 points, meaning there is still a good chance to win this tournament. We head into Seoul for the following race. This is the second urban circuit in this tournament, and a boring one at that. 2 straightaways glued together by a 90-degree corner and a roundabout, far from the ideal place to drive high downforce LMPs, but it does work in my favor as there are many places to defend if I qualify first. My entire race boils down to blocking, and thanks to Seoul's low tire wear, I was able to commit to a no-stop strategy, as I am certain the 787B won't stop either. Oh, you're joking. It stops. It stops. Why will you stop on the last lap? So you're telling me all of this was in vain? because the thing stops before the end of the race. That stop costed the Mazda dearly as it finished the race on 3rd place, scoring only 4 points once again. The Nissan scored 6, finishing on 2nd place, and I scored 10 with my 2nd victory. Now me and the Mazda are tied. Both of us had 28 points, while the Nissan is right behind us with 24. Quite the intense championship I got myself into. After being surrounded by buildings for so long, it is time to go out into the wilderness as my next race takes place on El Capitan. While it is a relatively fast-paced circuit, it is also defined by constant elevation changes which race cars are incapable of managing with grace, at least in their stock setups. It is also a circuit where the AI is slower than it should be, as seen in previous races of this run. While these are advantages for me, there is only one problem. Tire wear is quite high at El Capitan, and in order to match my opponents on grip, I must use medium tires, which will wear out rather quickly. Using hard tires is out of the question as they are incapable of completing the entire race, and I am slower on each lap. After qualifying, the stage is set. I need another victory. Sure, at least we're together in this 787P. What did I tell? It feels like high ones. That's more like low ones though. So they got 2 seconds on me in a single lap. What the hell? It will be less laps. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. It's 5 laps, so probably works out. It's probably slower because it has cold tires, right? I forgot. That's probably cold tire pace. Because for a second I was wondering how the hell I'm catching up to it so quickly. And I couldn't catch up to it on track, and then it clicked on me. It's probably the cold tires. They are not going to survive the following lap. No matter what I do, the car will not turn. It already doesn't turn. So why am I doing this? I have no idea. I guess I'm just hoping that their cold tire pace is so bad that I can actually cover up for it? Somehow? No, don't do this to me. Give me a few corners more. Give me a few corners more. Come on, this thing's so bad through here. Come on. Come on. Damn. Okay, slow down in time. Slow down in time. Oh. Okay, Master, you have one job. Block the Nissan. Block the Nissan so I can bring this home. Oh god, they're just coming like... This is worse than a horror movie. This is worse than my nightmares. Oh, he's pushing me. He's pushing me off. I cannot turn anymore. I know I cannot turn anymore. I just can't turn anymore. I had the Nissan right on my side and I just couldn't make the turn. And I have no tires either. So the Nissan just completely blocked me whenever I had to make the turn. And I just couldn't make it. And that's why I didn't win. Literally. Literally, that corner is why I didn't win. I don't think this... See, this is going to be more of a 132.5, okay. See, I stopped the... I actually managed to overtake the Nissan before it left the pit lane. That's new. 787B is activating the Japanese spy as armor. I don't have that. Maybe I should create a rainbow in the chat to actually give me the power of friendship. Holy shit. I don't know how I did that. But now I have to hold this lead. No. No. You're staying there. You're staying there. You're not overtaking me. Please, just grip. By the love of God, just grip. Go. Go. Move. Oh. Oh man, my hands are actually... I was holding the controller so hard. I was exhausted after doing those races. Seriously, my hands were in pain. It was worth it, as I managed to overtake the Aston in the championship standings with 38 points. The 787B sits at 34, while the Nissan sits at 28. It took over an hour to achieve this run. Sadly, my next race takes place at the third urban circuit featured in this tournament, New York. At least this is the most reasonable pick out of them all. It has enough room for two LMPs to go side by side in most sections, and there is also room for some Yellowbird lore. Can this team actually hire someone else? the Americans couldn't get it done. They called the Japanese to actually murder me, and they called someone who has a story with me and wants to see me gone. My name is slipstreaming off. I don't know what happened there, but sure, we're alive. I think I crashed into the 787B, didn't I? Let me check something. Ah, he's still moving. I thought he was completely broken, by the way, but no, he's still there. He's still drying. Even if his steering angle doesn't change, he just repeats the same action over and over. Save and prove my point. Hey, goofball. Come on. Hey, he's moving. He's moving. Never mind. Oh, well, he has no fuel. He's dead. He has no fuel. Last time I saw it, it was struggling in sand, and I actually saved its life by the end. I hope that you all remember my good actions of saving the 787B out of the sand pit. With New York being a speed-biased circuit, I have to be creative. My only option of winning this race is running hard tires and sending my pit crew off to a vacation. My strategy boils down to using whichever car I have ahead of me as a brake, push them and then defend against them when possible, and surviving the final lap without tires too. Look at how red those tires are, my god. Have you ever seen red tires so red in your life before? The answer is probably no. This corner. Why do you exist right now? I need you to put the power down without wheel spinning. I need you to put the power down without wheel spinning. Go! Whew! Thank God I saved all of that nitrous! After multiple attempts, I finally got another win with 48 points in the championship. The Mast is now second with 38. It did finish third in this race, allowing the Nissan to score more points, now at 34. I had enough of traffic jams and buildings. I want an actual racetrack for a change. Oh, come on! I have to race in this dumpster again? When the right mind thought it was a good idea to put race cars in Opera Paris. This track has more bumps than a rally stage. It's too narrow and tight for high-powered cars. And to make it worse, it is also one of the longest races in the entire tournament. Let's get this done and over with already. 787 is right there. He's pushing me off to overtake me. He just pushed me off to overtake me. Vengeance. See? That's why you don't push me around, because I can do the same, and I can actually plan it. Because I have the intention of pushing you. You don't have the intention of pushing me, you're just too stupid. And don't realize that I'm there, despite being a massive Audi TT. No. And that's how I lost this race. I never recovered first place and I didn't want to try hard Paris. I've been racing for 5 hours at this point and I don't want to see this circuit anymore. You can take the victory 787B, I can settle with second place. Off to Suzuka we go as soon as possible. My chances to win this race are next to none. I don't have the downforce or speed to match my opponents in the circuit, so I have to do the next best thing, minimizing damages. The Nissan has 38 points in the championship, so it can win this race. The Mazda, however, we cannot allow that to happen under any circumstances. No, don't you dare to bother the CLK, Mazda. No. No, I made you spin. There you go. There you go. Because I didn't know how long this was going to take. And my god, it's taking longer than I anticipated. Oh, he's there. He's there terrorizing the poor CLK already with that obnoxious rotary sound. He's screaming. I can hear the screeching already. I can hear the motorized autism already. Oh no. How did he make that overtake? I have no idea. Oh, okay. I find it so funny how the Nissan is just completely gone, chilling on first place, while me, the CLK and the Mazda are just having a battle in hell for second place. Where I'm actually manipulating it to remain in fourth, and I'm using the CLK as a shield. That's literally what I'm doing with the CLK, just using it as a shield for my second place. And when you make the overtake, you know what's coming, right, Master? You know what's coming when you actually make that overtake, don't you? You know what's gonna happen, right? You know you're looking at me with that face of yours, wondering, is he going to act on it again? And my answer is yes, 100%. There you are. There you are. Got you. Got you again. Creative racing line. Yeah, there's Starmac there, so I can use it to my advantage. Just gonna save here and see what the Mazda does. Oh, I don't even turn for the pit lane. Excellent, beautiful, perfect. Okay, sure. Nah, he comes out like nothing happened. What the hell? Why? Why? He just comes out walking. Yeah, sure, nothing happened. Nobody absolutely slammed into him, just threw into the sand. No. No, don't come out. They always come out so well out of those incidents. Okay, podium. Come on. That has to be a thing. Probably have more chances for an overtake here. No, don't crash into me, CLK. Don't go wide either. You want this podium, and I want you to get the podium, so just hold on. Hold on, you're faster than I am through here, so you could probably... I'll try not to block you. Okay, I'll try not to block you, I said. Just gonna brake early. I'm going to take this creative racing line. So the chicane is clear. CLK podium! Took a lot of work, but I actually got the CLK a podium. Another day, another opportunity to achieve something impossible in this channel. I managed to push the CLK LM into a podium. An eternal packmarker gets to enjoy a moment of glory after I spent almost an hour pulling the Mazda 787B on its home turf. At least the Nissan got a victory, scoring 10 points for its efforts. I placed second and scored 6 points, while the Mazda placed fourth, scoring 3 miserable points. I am still leading the tournament with 60 points, while the Mazda is second with 51 and the Nissan 3rd with 48. All of us have a chance of winning this tournament and there are only 2 races left. First we have Grand Valley, a circuit with similar problems for my TT as Suzuka, and then there's the finale at Les Artes, a race which I won't win. So my last chance to score serious points is at Grand Valley. Once again, I tested different tire compounds and came to the conclusion hard tires were the only possible option if I wish to remain competitive, as tire degradation is severe at Grand Valley. Everyone stops in this race, so there's a chance to use lying wide open. Oh, great. If it's not one, it's the other, is it? It's right there, I just cannot do anything about it. I did say that I wanted to finish this today. Why? Because I just want to get it done. That's just how my brain works. Yes, I am still here. This is not a recording, this is not a hologram. Leave me alone. Leave me alone already, both of you. Just go. Die. Go for a vacation. Go get a room or a hotel or something. Just leave me alone for a minute. That's all I want. Of course, I just go straight into the only inch of wall available on that corner exit. Of course. Go. I mean, I could probably take a gamble and see if it's another El Capitan case where they're really slow on the outlap. See you. See you, master. It's not the best, but sure, it works. Where is it? Where is it? There you are. There you are. Claims of luck. That wasn't luck. That wasn't luck. Don't take credit away from what I can do. Race completed. On first place. What the fuck? God, this stream is going to be demonetized. I can already tell you. What the hell? Oh god, well, god, that was so worth it though. That was so worth it though. How long I've been trying this godforsaken race already? 70 points. 70 points. I can actually skip Les Artes, by the way. I can literally skip Les Artes now and I win. I have more than 10 points difference with everyone. How's your mental? Are you okay? What makes you think I mean, I have a YouTube channel, of course I'm not mentally okay. After 7 hours and 15 minutes of racing, I claimed first place at the Gran Turismo World Championship, driving an Audi TT. At this point I was so exhausted I couldn't do the final race, letting my B-Spec driver, who my audience has named Benito, take the steering wheel. I haven't done a single race in B-Spec during this playthrough. I don't have the need really, so Benito's skills are at 0. He managed to place 5th, proving my point that Les Artes was a lost cause. Thank god I didn't have to place any higher. I admit this championship could have been easier if I found the perfect grid, but it wouldn't be the same. I have what it takes to beat some of the fastest cars with such a handicapped car. I have proven my skills before. I still haven't seen anyone dare to try and complete a run as difficult as my randomizer Nuzlocke, let alone complete it on a single try or without changing its rules. That video alone should be sitting at 6-digit views minimum. My GT4 100% randomizer has tons of absurd races, so many that I can't count them. I did bring a Lexus IS300 wagon and challenged an Opera S2000, that one I remember. Talking about the Opera S2000, I have made videos which showcase the potential of multiple cars, one of them being a forgotten prototype which might as well be lost media, the Proto Motors Spira, probably the most complete research anyone on YouTube has ever made about that thing really. And this run? It's just another achievement for this small channel which still doesn't break the 10,000 subscriber mark, and and most of its audience is missing out on live streams which constantly defy the odds and don't have to cover for subpar driving skills with green screen memes. Honestly, I'm aware it is a matter of time before my efforts pay off. It's you who's missing out by not subscribing and watching my live streams. You'll regret it when this channel is big enough and your chance to say I knew Yellowbird before he got famous is long gone. With that said, it is time to thank our YouTube members, the Con family, along with our Con father. The member who gifted the most memberships during the month of September is Julian Canoto 15 with a total of 10 memberships. However, I will be streaming until the end of the month. Maybe someone else can claim this title. We also thank my Patreons. We thank them as follow: Amateur Racers, Professional Racers, and World Champions: Line Dev, See What Happens Racing UK, Sandere Kiselli, Enzo Lassineri, Hunter Kaufman, Josh Big, Lonnie Murray, Ty Scum, Espriel, Scott Miller, and Outside. If you want to join these wonderful people, you can do so at www.patreon.com/yellowbirdyt or following the link in the description of this video. I make videos and stream for a living, so your support is invaluable to me, especially in these months where YouTube isn't going so well for me. I am currently living off my Patreon earnings. Cannot thank you enough for your support and patience. With that said, I hope to see you soon, either on my next stream or video. If you haven't left a like, now is your last chance to do so, or a dislike if you got nothing else to do with your life. Take care and bye for now.